The book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss, Part 1, Redefining Freedom. You've probably heard this before. Hang in there. Just grind for a few more decades, retire, and then you'll finally get to live. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if? By the time you get there, you no longer have the health to enjoy it. Every morning you rush out the door, drowning in deadlines, meetings, and KPIs. You're racing against the clock, the bills, your boss's expectations. Then you drag yourself home, exhausted, too tired to do anything but collapse. Are you working to live? Or just living to work? Tim Ferriss, the author of The 4-Hour Workweek, was once just like that. Young, ambitious, earning well, praised by others, but completely burnt out. He was working 80 hours a week, no time for lunch, no time to call his mom. Then one day, he disappeared. He flew to Latin America, learned how to dance tango, took time off, and still earned $40,000 a month. Not because he struck gold, but because he redefined what work and life are supposed to be. This book isn't for dreamers. It's for people who are brave enough to ask, is there another way to live? Tim introduces a new class of people. He calls them the new rich. They don't measure wealth by bank balances. They measure it by freedom, by flexibility, by how often they get to do what they love. Being rich doesn't mean waiting until retirement to buy a yacht. Being rich means taking a 2-hour lunch in a cafe in Lisbon, reading in the morning, working a few hours in the afternoon, cooking dinner with your family at night. The new rich don't wait to live at the end of life. They live right now, while others are postponing their dreams for work. Tim calls what most people follow the deferred life plan. You work hard for 40 years, hoping that by the time you're 60, you'll finally have the time, money, and health to enjoy life. But are you sure you'll still be here to enjoy it? Instead of one big retirement at the end, Tim suggests breaking it into pieces. He calls them mini retirements. Take a few months off each year. Learn a new skill. Live in a new place. Treat today like the reward, not some distant dream. Tim used to run a supplement company. He was the CEO, the marketer, the delivery guy, everything. People said he was successful, but he felt empty. So one day, he let it go. He moved to Argentina, learned tango, and the unexpected happened. Sales kept coming, the business kept running, and for the first time, life began. He didn't quit working. He just redesigned how he worked. That's how the 4-Hour Workweek was born. And maybe, just maybe, you've been surviving instead of living too. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to escape to an island. You don't even need $1 million. You just need to rethink how you work. And start cutting out what's not worth your time. Part 2. Eliminate to liberate. Have you ever had a workday that felt like an entire year? A to-do list longer than your patience? Still felt like nothing actually got done? You're not lazy. You're not incapable. You're just trapped in the illusion of productivity. In the 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss doesn't teach you to work faster. He teaches you to stop doing what doesn't matter. Sometimes it's not about being more efficient. It's about eliminating completely. Tim introduces the 80-20th rule. It's simple. 20% of your effort creates 80% of your results. 20% of your clients bring in 80% of your income. And 20% of your problems cause most of your stress. The rest, it's noise. You spend hours replying to emails that don't grow your business. You sit in 2-hour meetings to make 5-minute decisions. You multitask all day long and feel drained instead of productive. Tim shares a life-changing exercise. Sit down, write down everything you did this past week, and ask yourself, did this actually create value? If not, delete it, delegate it, or ditch it. When you eliminate 50% of your workload and nothing falls apart, you realize something tough. Most of what you think you have to do, nobody actually asked you to. Tim puts it this way: being busy is a form of laziness. Laziness in thinking, laziness in choosing what truly matters. A smart person can earn a lot, but a free person knows how to say no. So how do you start? Turn off email notifications. Check twice a day, not 20 times an hour. Say no to meetings without a clear agenda. Every morning, write down just 3 important tasks and finish them before noon. You'll be surprised to learn. A full day doesn't give you 24 productive hours. It gives you maybe 3 or 4 truly focused ones, and that's enough. Because we live in a world that glorifies being busy, but no one stops to ask if what we're doing even matters. You don't have to wait for a promotion to spend more time with your family. You just need to stop doing the things that are stealing your life. And part 3, automate and delegate. Have you ever said this to yourself? I quit my job for freedom, but now I'm working more than ever. Starting a business sounds exciting, but in reality, you turn into your own most overworked employee. You're the CEO, the accountant, the customer service rep. All rolled into one. Tim Ferriss was there too, until he realized freedom doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less and letting others do it for you. Imagine this. You have a full-time assistant. They reply to emails, book flights, handle your clients, prep your documents, and they do it from anywhere in the world for just $5 an hour. That's a virtual assistant. And Tim's been using one since 2005 to run his business while traveling the world. He didn't just outsource, he automated. Orders were handled automatically through his website. Shipping was managed by partners. Emails were filtered and answered using templates. Customer FAQs covered by autoresponders. The goal wasn't to work faster. It was to make the business run without him. You don't need to be a tech wizard. You don't need a massive company. You just need to think differently. Don't ask, how can I do this better? Ask, who can do this better, faster, and cheaper than me? Use platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, or onlinejobs.ph. Use tools like Zapier, Gmail filters, or Google Forms. Let systems and people carry the load so you don't have to. Tim shares one amazing story. A woman created an online course. She hired freelancers to build the content, used automation tools to handle the sales, delegated student support to a virtual assistant, and she checked her revenue just once a week. She went from being an overworked teacher to building an autopilot education business earning 5 figures a month. And maybe you've thought the same, that you have to do everything yourself to be good enough. But the truth is, the most time-rich people aren't the most talented. They're the ones who know how to delegate, automate, and focus only on what truly matters. Nuns, Part 4, Freedom and the Digital Nomad Life. Close your eyes for 5 seconds and imagine this. You wake up in a cafe by the beach in Da Nang. In the afternoon, you work for a few hours from a co-working space in Bali. At night, you're eating street BBQ in Seoul, paid for with money you earned while sleeping. Sounds like a fantasy, doesn't it? It's not. It's the everyday reality for thousands of people. Those who chose to become digital nomads by embracing the ideas in the 4-hour work week. Tim Ferriss never told you to quit everything. He just asked one powerful question. Do you really need to stay in one place to make a living? If your work lives on a laptop, if your clients don't need to meet you in person, then why stay stuck in one city, one apartment, one fixed routine? Freedom isn't about how much you've saved. It's about the ability to move without asking for permission. One of the biggest myths about freedom is this: that long-term travel is expensive. But Tim proved the opposite. In Thailand, you can live like royalty on just $1,000 a month. In Colombia, in Mexico, in Vietnam. You can enjoy high quality of life for a fraction of the cost. The key is simple. Automate your income. Spend in places where life is rich but costs are low. And work on your time, not your boss's. What do you need to live like this? Not much, just the basics. A laptop, Wi-Fi, Google Calendar, an international credit card, an e-wallet. Work platforms like Notion, Trello, Slack, and Zoom. And travel tools like Booking, Airbnb, Nomad List, or Agoda. The world is being redesigned for people who no longer belong to just one place. One of Tim's readers took his first mini-retirement after reading the book. He bought a one-way ticket to Prague, rented a small flat, and kept his business running remotely. 6 months later, he had worked from 4 continents and explored 12 countries without quitting his job. He didn't become a millionaire, but he lived a life most millionaires are too afraid to try. And maybe that's the point. A lot of people think freedom is out of reach, but the 4-hour work week shows you. You don't need to be rich to start. You just need to redesign your work and take the first step. Part 5. Common misconceptions and a heartfelt message. Tell someone you want to work just 4 hours a week. They'll laugh or judge because this world praises the busy and questions the free. We grew up believing that hard work is noble and doing less is irresponsible. But if that hard work takes away time from your children, your parents, and yourself, is that really noble? Or is it just automatic? Some people say this book is a scam. They say working 4 hours a week isn't possible. But that's not what the book promises. It gives you tools to simplify your work and amplify your life. Even applying one small part can change everything. Others say, this book is only for tech people, freelancers, or the rich. Not true. Freelancers, office workers, stay-at-home moms, all kinds of people are using these ideas, outsourcing small tasks, filtering emails, automating bills, because this isn't just a book about money. It's a book about mindset. And no, it doesn't promote running away or living without responsibility. Tim Ferriss teaches you to take full ownership of your time, to live with intention, not default. This book doesn't teach you how to be a billionaire. It teaches you how to be rich on your terms. Maybe you don't want to travel the world. Maybe all you want is 2 more hours a day to walk your kids to school, to water your plants, to read the book you keep putting off. That's a win too. Tim doesn't paint a perfect picture. He just gives you a mirror because you can't live a different life. If you keep living the same one, if your life feels like it's stuck in a loop, if you want freedom but don't know where to start, don't read the 4-hour work week like a manual. Read it like a reflection and ask yourself, am I living the life I truly want or just the one I was told to live?